Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Planet Coaster series here in Austin's Wonderland as we are getting ready to complete the water park portion. Now we're looking right now at the wave pool that we have created. It's pretty basic right now. It is going to be obviously dressed up and it's going to really solidify this back corner of our park. So I went through and I put in a bunch of wave machines. So these things are excessive, I will admit. But I think it looks like a pretty cool wave pool. It'd be one I would go in. And it's got some areas down the side here where, the waves aren't all that. So you can still relax in the pool. It's not one that all of a sudden, you're just stuck getting hammered wave after wave. No, you got little areas you can chill out, relax in, stay cool, and then go back to enjoying the waves whenever you want to. But this is going to be kind of the back corner segment that we have, so we're not going to extend any further back. And a part of me thought that maybe originally we would go off back into that open space in the back corner that you can see there. But in reality, that would be just way too huge. My goodness, that would be a little much, I think I have to admit. So yeah, we're not going to fill in that backspace. That's actually, we are going to work on that kind of space off camera. But what we are going to, since this is the back corner, we are going to solidify this space. We are going to get it filled in. And we're going to really kind of dress up this pool. Now, in this area I'm looking at right now, I'm thinking of what would probably work out pretty well is maybe, like a little tiki lounge section. You know how most theme parks that have a water park too, or even just water parks in general, have a place where you can like rent your own little cabana kind of thing. You pay extra, but it's your own cabana. That's where you all are. It's your shaded spot. They're generally servers or someone that would come and basically work that cabana. So bring you your drinks that you want to buy, your food, all that type of fun jazz. So that was kind of the initial point from where we are going to go after that. Now, what I've been wanting to do is try to find a way to kind of continue to add into these spaces, mainly just because this water park area, one, I completely misjudged the size and scaling. Planet Coaster scaling is massive to begin with, right? And so it really, as much as it is, everybody pretty much knows that. So it's on me. It is completely on me. I know this. So I'm going to put in a couple little other kind of filler segments, kind of covers, things to walk under, that kind of thing, to really kind of help close in some of that space so it's not just so blatantly wide open. So first we are going to get to this wave pool, and then we're going to get slides going in here in a little while afterwards. But let's going to take a quick look at this first update. And boom, there it is, the tiki area, solidifying that back spot. I put the tree line in just to kind of hide some of it for everything that's behind it. Yeah, you can see it on one of our coasters, but I decided to hide it in anyways there. So we have the wave pool, and we continued the coral kind of cover section, the kind of coral reef siding that we had around our, I'm calling it the water coaster, but so we kind of continued that behind the wave pool, but I also wanted to have some of that over by it. It creates just a walk-through little tunnel thing to, I don't know, I guess I would say kind of bring the area together as a whole a little bit. We did put one on that side. I want one on this other side too. I think it is definitely necessary. And you see, we get it lined up in there pretty well, and I do actually kind of like how it looks. It's one of those that, let me just kind of shift this over, try to get it level. I think it does a good job of bringing you into the wave pool section. I like how that kind of flows into it. Walking underneath it, of course, it's like everything else I did in this water park, completely massive. So I'm not gonna go too far with worrying about height and all that type of stuff. Now, we do have our wave pool in. We've got the coverage for it. And I think it's a pretty good little setup that we've got going. All the chairs around it. Now, like I said, this area is completely massive. way too massive. So I have a feeling as the park stays open, and you can see people coming towards the wave pool, so they are coming to enjoy it, those seats will start to fill in. But it is just the basic chairs, made a few rows, copy and pasted them over. So now that we've kind of got the wave pool segment done, let's take a look at, we're going to kind of run this border of the coral around, but we also are going to be putting in a bunch of water slides here. So this whole open space is going to eventually be filled in with the water slides, all different kinds too, not just one simple style of water slide. It's going all different kinds in this park, in this water park portion, but it is going to fill in, and once again, it's going to seal off that edge. So really using the water park in this portion to solidify the boundary of our theme park is kind of a big thing for us that we're doing here. And that was kind of the key point. Since I have made it so massive, it's going to be a pretty big fill-in project on this side over here. With the coral going around and then also with the slides. It's going to be interesting to see how I get this stuff filled in. I do like how it looks coming up. But, you know, hey, you be the judge. I normally like my own stuff that I make anyways, so y'all be the judge of that. We'll fill it in, and it's gonna bring kind of, I think, the whole water park segment together. And another thing I do like is, you see where our parking lot is. We are gonna run our parking lot kind of down towards this water segment. I'm not gonna let it go meet that. Like that, there's no point. I had originally planned on kind of doing that, just decided not to. But we are going to bring the parking lot out over this way, so it is going to offer an opportunity to bring people parking closer. So you really, the hearing it is always a big thing. The audio in a theme park is major for kind of getting you amped up. And looking at the viewpoint, that was as close to a peep kind of viewpoint as I did without actually switching over to them, you know. Or really that camera point of view. But I think it does a good job of showing you kind of what's there. Like you're in the parking lot, you're going to see the water slide there. So it comes afternoon time, boom, man, you're like, it's hot as hell. Let's get the water park going. And so that was kind of the thought behind having the slide there, looking at some of that other stuff. Now, I did put in a couple of backstage buildings. These are just strictly backstage. It's not anything that anybody would really ever see. And in fact, y'all probably would never have seen it had I not shown it. So, and then I did put in a little lifeguard station building right there. Yeah, and that's, once again, it is kind of a space filler for the most part, but I think it would be necessary to have. And I did put in an actual employee building in that one. So it is functional in that sense. But I think it is going to be a good little space filler, and it kind of helps us, you know, bring the edge of the pool area to where we have the slides coming in on this whole open portion of our water park zone. So that was kind of a big thing for us. Having the covers into the wave pool, or the walk-through pass into the wave pool, plus getting everything set up for the future expansion is a big thing. Now here is our tiki huts, basically. They do look massive, I know. But I figure if anybody's like me, whenever we go to Six Flags, we're about 2 to 3 cars deep and they are full. So we have generally 10 people with us. Six Flags, SeaWorld, you know, we're traveling deep with the family. So we do, I made those tiki huts a little bit bigger. There's plenty of seats. There's a little fire thing in it. And I think it does work out. Now this side, that is a staff path. So it does connect over to where a lifeguard is. But it is just a staff path, so I did close it off by fencing. So once again, if you are a peep in the park, you're not going to be able to really see that. I mean, you'll see the fencing, and unless you are just super curious and go kind of jump over and look, you know, you're not ever going to see that. So I think we are really getting to the segment where this park is pretty much almost going to be done after this episode. The next episode is going to be a full-on walkthrough of the park, but we are going to be done with it. This will be the last building episode or update episode where you kind of see changes that go on. I will do a lot of work off camera, but overall, this is pretty much the final segment. So let's take a look coming up here in just a second about where we get these slides put in and how many of them there are. Here we go. So you can tell when I said there were going to be lots of slides, I meant it. Lots of slides, folks. Now, one thing that is kind of bothersome to me is these platforms. And I know I mentioned it with the water coaster, but the platforms that the people go off of to where the top of the slides are. And I keep trying to think of the ones when I've been to Six Flags, Fiesta, Texas, and even the ones I've seen at SeaWorld. You don't ever really notice them. They are there in that sense, in the same type of style. But you don't ever really notice them, which is bothersome because I notice these big time. So we did get a lot of slides put in. And you can see this segment is our shorter slides. So basically, we're going from right to left. You have your shorter, your medium, and then your bigger slides. So all of these are more family friendly. I did put in a lot of the tube section on slides just because I think with the way the physics stuff works now, I figure if you're tubed up, you're not flying out, right? I mean, you may crash out, but you're not going to fly out of it, which would be kind of funny now that I think about it. It'd be funny to see. But yeah, so that was kind of my thinking in terms of having the covers on a lot of these slides. Plus, it provides some disorientation. Now, here on our biggest slide segment, we got triple racers. These drop slides, the one where the floor drops out from underneath you. I'll admit, I've never really been on them, but people do. They're basically 76 feet tall. And I really didn't want to go any higher because of the damn platform. Like, that was the biggest thing. Here, it kind of works out mainly because, this biggest drop is 53 feet, but it does go up to 43 miles per hour. And you kind of have to do it to get it to come around the wall to where you don't hit the dead center corner on the comeback spot. So it does work for this one, but once again, the platforms, even looking at them now, just bother me. And then I mentioned it also, I think in the last episode, the poles, the supports, for some reason, don't get removed whenever there is pathway put down on these. It still does it on the roller coasters and all that. And if I had built a flat ride and run a path underneath it, that would happen if I lifted it up. But no, for these water rides, it definitely does not do that. So it's kind of interesting thinking about it in that sense. But I don't know. It just seemed like a weird fact to me. I'm not sure how they pulled that one off or why they did. Now, don't get me wrong. I know I could have clicked on part of it and did remove supports. But now that I think about it, I'm just now realizing I could have done that. I did not even think about that while building the damn thing. Okay. Well, good for me. Good to know. So all of these entrances and exits, just so you are going to be covered. Like, it's not going to be completely covered, right? But it is going to be based around a building. So once again, you still get the edge of the park, the wall series of not seen behind it for the most part until you actually get on the ride and go up the steps and all that fun jazz. But I think this whole area is going to be brought together beautifully with all the different stuff that we have going on. And yeah, here's my supports. I mean, this one is really bothering me. Like, for some reason, it doesn't bother me with the queue. But right here on the path over this exit, it is driving me nuts. I don't know. I already recorded this. I just can't get it away. And you can tell it's really bothering me. But we are going to try to cover up these poles for the platforms as best as we can. Once again, it probably isn't going to be perfect. It's not going to be, there's still going to be supports viewable and all that fun jazz. But I think we're going to get it covered up pretty well here. And really bring this whole water park segment together in the end. So it is going to be a pretty good finish as we kind of jump into that final little update, and here we go. Here it is. You can kind of see how we got this to work out. We did basically make tiki covers for each thing. Some of them are built, some of the platforms are more built into the actual building itself, so they are covered. On this, the Wave Runners, I liked making that sign for it. I think that sign turned out really well. But what's funny is don't have anybody going on these slides. Like, well, no assigned staff. That could be the problem. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really worked with the signing staff before. But I'll say this: while building these buildings, going around and all that stuff, I still didn't have people going on it. Then again, it's a massive, massive park. There's 5,500 people in the park right now. But I guess it's just not their cup of tea, maybe. I don't know. I did try to figure out how to kind of get a staff member over there. But in the end, I just like, you know what? Let's just move this guy from our theme park section. And he may not have wanted to be in the water park that day. Probably wasn't what he was thinking of, what he was desiring. But you know what? Here he is. He is in the water park, whether he likes it or not. As we drop him down in, looking for work. There's work to be had right here, and yet he's still not doing it. Of course, he's only been employed for 6 days. 6 days, and he's already just wandering around. That's kind of lazy, if you ask me. And in all reality, it's kind of my fault, because I don't know how to fix all that. I've never really looked at it too much. So, you know, it's one of those it is what it is type of situations. Still just try to get staff assigned into it. Yes, I want to assign them to all of those. Plume Platform 6, yes. Let's see, and he's off, and he's still not there. Oh well. Well, it doesn't say no staff is assigned. As we take a little ride, you can see this thing is going to be kind of hefty. And this is after the physics update and all that on water slides, so it does work. And it would be a quick little... That's really meant to be racing. So you and your friends get up there, hop on one of them things, and go down. Boom. You're good to go. And then I did put in a miniature drop flume. Just to kind of build up to it. It's basically the kiddie version of the surprise drop flume thing. Pretty short, but it's like I said, the kid version of it. And I think it still works out pretty well. Now, what was funny I ran into when doing these POVs is it kept doing it with the head popped up over. And it started out that way. So it really kind of baffled me. Guest can't reach park exit. Where the hell is that at? So yeah, I don't know what the deal is on that one. I've had it where I could see it before. It's just now it gives me that weird point of view. And maybe that's because that's what the new update's saying. Dude, you're going to kill someone. People are going to be doing damn barrel rolls as they go around these turns. Because even... Alright, here, test results. Let's see. 24 miles per hour. Yeah, I mean, that's my point. Is that's... In the grand scheme of things, that's not all that fast. And these two body flumes are designed are pretty much the exact same, just slightly, just the different side. That's really about it. So it's not like there's anything different about them other than that. So looking at it, I'm trying to figure out why is it that we are getting this weird ass point of view. I don't really understand it. I mean, I'd hope we could have gone on a POV ride, but at this stage, it is kind of just frustrating trying to get that for y'all, trying to get that shot. I tried for a while, and it just did not work out. But overall, I'd like the slides, and I think if I had done a better job in making the park more proportional, probably would be pretty busy. Probably would be pretty danged old busy. So that was our wave runners. Now here's our little Thunder Rapids portion. And these are both tube slides right here. These are tube flumes. Let's just call them flumes. They are tube flumes. They're pretty similar. They're definitely not the same. But they are just a little bit bigger. And so I like how these things turn out. And you can kind of see, I still don't think you would spin around as much in a flume like this. But hey, the game likes to spin you around 360. So that's what we're going to do. Like I said, I just don't think you would spend that much. But overall, these slides turn out pretty good. I mean, I don't care what the excitement rating states at 3 point whatever. No, that's a pretty damn good flume if you ask me. So now we've got this other one here, which once again, put the roof on, put the tube portion in, and then the higher walls going around these turns. And like I said, the problem comes in whenever the tube starts spinning. And I mean, maybe that does happen. If you ride a lot of water slides with the tubes and all that stuff, hey, let me know down in comments, because I really don't. And anytime I'm at a water park, normally I'm hanging out with my wife or something, we're in the lazy river or the wave pool. That's pretty much about it. My kids like the slides, but, you know, they're not here. They're at school. So, hey, that's the way it goes. But I do like how these buildings turned out. And I was worried about going from the green to the blue. The signage, I wanted to make sure that these buildings were well covered. And I think they turned out pretty good. You know, here we got our little inner tube pickup section. So you pick them up, drop them off, all sorts of inner tubes and stuff, floaty things there. That I think turned out really well. Now, tower slides, that's going to be obviously the biggest slides that we have here in the park. You know, each one of these buildings has a little tower on them. Now, this building is essentially a version of a restaurant prior to the update where they released restaurants. It is just an indoor eating area. We got plenty of videos going on, advertisement stuff. We got plenty of that stuff happening, which what I think I might do before we do the final park tour is get a lot of video clips of people going down those slides and put those into it, just to give it that more personal touch. But overall, this is right by the exit of the slide, so I think it turns out pretty damn well in the end. Now, we got put in a lot of foliage work, sealed everything. Like I said, not sealed it off, but kind of covered it all up. And I think it turns out pretty damn good. I like how this goes. While I am thinking about it, before I go any further, I do just want to remind y'all that if you have not hit that subscribe button, definitely do so. And if you did like today's video, give us a thumbs up. If you're excited for a new park that we'll be doing probably here in a little while, give us a thumbs up, put something in the comments. Let us know what you would like to see as a first ride, or which slide here was your favorite looking at, or how overly massive did I really make this water park. Put it in the comments. Let me know, guys. And hit that little bell icon also so you can be notified of all of our uploads as we take a look at the Raft Flume 5.85, one of our highest rated slides when it comes to fun time. And really, it's pretty basic, but I think it is this major drop into the little spin around section here. And so, you know, it's basic, but it's entertaining. That's how I would describe myself. Basic, but entertaining. It almost goes a little crazy. I like how they put sunglasses on all the test people here with what looks like swim caps. But yeah, so this park has turned out pretty damn good. Like I said, these rides are out of the slides, these are definitely my favorites. And so they were fun to build, don't get me wrong. A lot of these are really fun to build. Like I said, for me, it's just covering up these damn supports. I did my best with the tower slides on getting those poles covered, but it just didn't work out all that well. These drop ones I really enjoyed. They give us a 6.5 rating, so actually in the green, which is shocking. It's a 76-foot drop. They get up about 47 miles per hour for the max speed, and I think it turns out pretty damn well. And it is just real basic, man. It is a drop down, go, boom, hit the end of the slide, and yeah, that's all she wrote for you, you know. I do think that these kind of, wow, that's a weird point. There we go. Watch it go down and then totally miss everything because I didn't change the camera view from behind the building. There it is. Boom. It's a basic slide, don't get me wrong, but it looks fun as shit. And I think it works out really well being in this kind of setting. And I love the fact that you get off the slide and you got to go straight through the little restaurant. In reality, that would be more of a gift shop kind of thing, I think. But we made it a restaurant. I put the benches in there for people to sit down. Plenty of windows to be able to look out and see. And actually right here behind this wall, that's the entrance queue line for the ride. I just forgot to put a door in. It happens to people, though. You forget things. It's just the way of the world. So overall, these slides, I mean, they were really fun to build. I still am having a hard time forgiving myself for making this damn water park so massive, but, you know, it's just kind of the way it goes. I'm going to try this one more time, and nope. Orbit is useless. Chase, look forward. Yeah. Front bum. That's weird. But I wish y'all could see it. I am going to go ahead. Before we do the full park tour, going to put this one out on the workshop. I'll update the description because I don't think I'm going to do it by the time this video releases. But I will put the link in the description into the workshop. I'll update it once I do actually get it put in. So it will be available in the workshop soon enough. But all right, that is where I am going to leave y'all off. We are going to have a little just closing look at our water park here as we kind of look around and finish off some of these other sections. But hey guys, just once again, I do want to remind y'all to hit the subscribe button if you haven't hit it already. And I will see y'all in the next episode, everybody, for the park tour. So as always, stay safe, and well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.